Hello people that how's I doing? I hope you're all doing well. So I'm doing kind of a different video here. I haven't got my chair, unfortunately. I seen this video, watched a bit of it. I didn't see it all. It came up my recommended. I will leave a link in the description. Hopefully it does get community guidelines strike granting this video. Just wanted to react. Because the bit I did see, the small bit I did see, I didn't see the whole lot. I've only seen about a minute of it. These people are proud of what they do, and it's kind of the same thing as I was doing. And I kind of would talk about at the end about it, because it's something I never thought about before, and something that I kind of thought about but I never said before, if that makes any sense. It's something that you feel too when you're doing work like this. So yeah, just listen. It's only 5 minutes long and it's a good video. So watch. Make sure you go and watch the video and show some support to the the person who made this video. Thank you. A bit loud.
In Wolverhampton, the sun is shining, and Lou and Dave, the council's proudest litter pickers, are starting yet another regular shift with a bit of a constitutional down Bright Street. Today they're accompanied by a new recruit, Simon, and for Lou, the agreeable conditions herald a good start to the proceedings.
What could be nicer? Look at the lovely sunshine and me walking down here, picking a bit of litter up. Once it's done, I'll feel as if I've done a good job. It's what they pay me for, and I'm proud of what I do.
So straight away, as soon as I heard that, it's like I have to definitely talk about this in the video. So first of all, it's the typical council kind of way. Every person in the council, every man you come across in the council, I'd be like, oh, this is what I'm paid to do. Even though some of them in this country lie on the shovel all day. But anyway, it's supposed to get paid for lying on shovels. But yeah, he's proud of what he does, and it's great to see it. That he's proud of what he does, and we'll talk at the end about it, because it's too, a lot of people kind of look down on you in society, and I want to talk about that in the end. So we'll play this ahead. But straight away, that's something it really relates to.
I don't care if people look down on me.
So yeah,
this is my job, and I'm proud of it. I like doing it. No trouble at all.
fuck them.
Lou's even more
Fuck the people.
to make sure that even the smallest things won't wreck his day.
That's probably a child's rattle. I'll just put it in here just in case the child lives there. I don't want a rattle in my bag making a noise, keeping me awake. Put it with these bricks, alright. There's loads of bricks there. That'll do, lovely. Probably be through the shop window later on. Oh, hey there, kid, alright, mate?
After some 20 years behind a desk, the new recruit, Simon, finds clearing the streets is making him view the world in a very different light.
I can't believe that people just discard everything. They throw fag packets out the windows, bottles of pop. This is a mess. I dread to think, what it'd be like if it was left for a week or so.
Yeah, see what I mean? That's something I can relate to.
Simon's determination to stay in work after losing his job as an architect and being prepared to pick up litter has clearly impressed Lou.
Simon's very good, actually. We've had him now 3 weeks, and we've trained him up. He's been used to sitting on his backside in an office.
This is the typical council kind of language.
He didn't want to be sitting at home. It just goes to prove people with education, they'll take anything on now. He's trying to bring a young family up, and it's hard, it's tough out here now, but he's getting there, and fair play to the lad. He's having a go.
After only 45 minutes, Bright Street is looking spotless. Lou and the boys can now call it.
Wish I had one of them
move
looks.
on to their next job. In Wolverhampton, litter picker Lou is also having his day interrupted by the legacy left behind by drug addicts.
Oh, well, I'm too familiar with this kind of crap.
Having called off their regular job roster to clear a drugs den in a local park.
Yeah, I had to clear out 2 or 3 of them in my time. It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice.
Camping out in this particular area. I know it to be a known drug den at one time.
The thing too, just for the up here, these known drug dens, they're known. Loads of the local authorities know who the people are. They know that they're, the guards, the same with the police over there. They know about the local drug dens. Like there's a place in the town I know in Carvin Town, which is known that has a chair, and the people smoke weed there. And they won't do anything about it. So the council and the guards just fight back, refuse to lift it. So they'd stop anybody from doing it. But sooner or later, something that have to be done, and obviously I keep pushing for it. But yeah, just to say.
Just give a quick nosy round, and we'll try and play this out. But we must be on our guard for
But yeah, just sorry interrupting. But yeah, one time we did have to go. It was in the bush. You know, it was in the bush kind of tree area. You know, there was needles and everything left behind, and you know, steroids and things like that. You know, one time I had there was a drug. It was what we would call it a drug den, I suppose. We would call it a drug den. It was a very dangerous hole of a place, I tell you that. Just very very damp and just very wet, very run down area. You know, a good lot of needles. I think we nearly picked up about. Could have been. There was another fellow with me at the time. It was two. Sent me and another fellow up. Like, you know, you pick the odd needle up. You find the odd needle just lying on the side of a road. But you know, these are drug dens. Like, me and another fellow. I know the other fellow that came with me that time. But yeah, we picked up a good. It could have been, you know, 60 needles there, because it was, you know, it was left there for a long time. Nobody bothered to touch, and then somebody complained. And we went and done it. And we had the box. We had a yellow box to put the needles in. And I think the woo, I don't know, it probably do it differently over there. We call it the drug box. That's what we call it.
Before they can get to grips with the rubbish, the boys need to make a meticulous search of the area for needles.
Oh, they have it there. Yeah, that's the thing I'm talking about. The box. Yeah, this is what this. Well, they call it sharp box too. Yeah. But we really wouldn't call that in this country sharp box. We just call it the drug box. Yeah, it would be, like I'm telling you, never pick only your needles. Leave it to the local authorities.
With the area now free from needles, they can start clearing the tree branches, revealing what seems to be the drug user's alfresco living room.
So yeah, this is what I mean. It's kind of a sofa. You know, it's so straight away, you know, I can relate to it, because you know, drug den, basically this is where these drug dens are. The sofas, this, you know, thing. The time we went up there wasn't really anything. I think there was just sitting on patches. There wasn't a sofa. That's something that, you know, and before we went out to another drug den, there was a smaller one. There was one time we came across, actually, not myself, I was called to it afterwards, but somebody came across a few drug dealers, you know, taking needles in the forest, in one forest, and somebody in the council, we came across and happened to come across them. And again, I don't know what was done with them, but we came and cleaned it up and everything. It was a mess, like, you know. Imagine living like that. Imagine.
Stay there, we'll see if there's anybody asleep underneath it, okay? Here's a nice bit of carpet. Do you want it for your flat or what? Yeah, no, Davy's that tight. He wakes up in the night to see how much sleep he's lost.
Calvin people.
It's commonplace for Lou, but they constantly underline his despair of modern society.
When I was young, if you go anywhere, what have you, where I lived, you never even locked your doors at night. But
like, you know, this is such realism, I have to say straight.
They're doing crime, they're robbing people's houses. Look at that.
Oh yeah, one of these, yo, because I remember seeing it. I never found one, but I remember seeing somebody tell me about it.
People walking down, got no money, and pick up something like that and say, hey, give me your money. What would you do? You'd give your money to them, wouldn't you? I would. I wouldn't like that round my head. What are they doing these days?
Simon, fresh from his 20 years as an architect, seems to be settling in well to his new occupation.
Look, he's enjoying
Well,
it.
you know, just to say, in this country, not mainly, you would just pick up the needles. You wouldn't really, and whatever else was there, but you wouldn't really sweep. You know, I see them with a brush there. I don't know. We see now in a second, but you wouldn't really sweep the ground.
Using 2 hands.
Simon seems
See,
to
it's
become
it's a good bit of crack. You know, it's a good bit of crack. That's the thing about the council. People in the council have a bit of crack. You know, the down to earth people are not, you know, stuck up. Let's put it that way. People, like, you know, wider society. Now we talk about it at the end.
a part of the team, but Lou is fully aware that this job may only be a stopgap, and he's anxious to help.
For anybody who's looking round, wants a nice young lad here, do a few drawings, he's available.
Simon, though, seems pretty happy to stick around.
The office I used to work in, if you're new, you'd be lucky if anybody spoke to you for about 3 months. It's very different. I'm enjoying it. Have a good crack, so that's the main thing.
With their work practically over, all they have to do is to get the old sofa on the van.
Oh, it's a sofa,
If I
right?
wanted a job, maybe
That's
sofas,
different.
I'd have gone and worked at DFS. But as it is, I work for Wolverhampton City Council.
Should put him on Calvin County
Come
Council.
on, Simon.
I don't know about that. Calvin County Council, a lot better. But yeah, just to say, you know, like the point, just to say, I just want to touch on a few points because again, this is such wisdom for me. I just kneel down. Wait, we're going. This is the autopsy, but yeah, as he was saying about wider society looking down on you. That's true. When I first started like litter picking and doing lick it up and this that and you felt like people were looking down on you, and still to this day, I get the odd people who look down on me and say, "Oh, you're just trash. You just clean up trash." The trash man. People often say that, and I say to them, I couldn't give a fuck. And my friend, somebody a few months ago called me that. Oh, the trash man's here. I said I couldn't give a fuck what you call me, as long as you stay out of my way. Again, it's like water off a duck's back because I'm so used to it. Because when I was younger, you were looked down on saying, "Oh, you're just trash. You're just low life." These witch capitalists looking down on you. Again, at the end of the day, if there was no people if there wasn't people like these great men here and myself and the other people in the council cleaning up needles and cleaning up the streets, the place would be riddled with diseases. And we'd be walking on the streets that have about 2 meters, high of rubbish. We'd be, there'd be pandemonium. If we let just everything just lie littered or just lie and a league of Dublin. Imagine that wats outside your back garden because the litter would just blow. It would blow around the place. And letting needles on the streets and everything. And children would pick them up and injected them. Because children are curious. And I tell you that straight. They always will pick up something and, play with it. Because that's what children generally do. They're curious, aren't people? Again, they enjoyed themselves. As I said, they're down to earth. And as he said, I couldn't care less. What people... And as he says about the wider society, how wider society has changed. And people nowadays, they don't respect. They don't take. They just don't respect, the environment. And, generally these people, dumping there, are not really that far away from the area. Like these people who are using it are not that far away. Imagine wanting to grow up, raise a family in that area and you taking drugs in the trees. It just doesn't make sense. Like one time I came across a woman and it was in a house estate. And she dumps, she just throws rubbish into her house estate, beside her house. Not a care, and she has children, she's bringing up children, she couldn't care less. Rats and everything brought around the house. Couldn't care less. No respect, no mowers, no care about her children and how her children. And rightly so, she got investigated by Tombstone, rightly so. Because obviously she just didn't care. And anyway, she was on drugs too, so it just really goes to show that she didn't really much care for her child, and I have to say straight. And she did get a huge fine. She got nearly €12,000 of a fine for wake of offences related to Dublin. But yeah, you have the time I was talking to her, you could just tell her that she didn't care. She didn't think. She doesn't care why the society thinks of her, and she doesn't care what happens to the environment. She doesn't care what her child's growing up in. And again, as I keep saying, people do look down on you. When I started off litter picking, and now this is a long video, but when I started off litter picking, people looked down on you. People thought you had the scum of the earth. But in fact, you're doing a great service. Like, if you're doing a voluntary, these men are obviously the county council over there. You're doing it voluntary. You're taking your own initiative and you're going out and doing it. You're serving your community and serving your country to an extent. There are many people who just say, nowadays it's a policy really of young people nowadays and young society nowadays. Leave it for somebody else to do it. It's not my responsibility. Let somebody else do it. And that's something that's said commonly nowadays. And again, at the end of the day, imagine that nowadays if there's no couch in the morning and there was just a pile of needles lying on the side of a road beside the national school. Let's take for example in Carlow maybe. And there was no such thing as the county council. Nobody would pick up the needles, and they were just left lying on the side of the road, lying on the grass, lying on the pavement. Needles beside the national school, kids injecting them 24/7 when they're going to school. It'd be pandemonium. So you have to think about that before you call somebody scum of the earth or anything like that picking up litter. Now some people who are on community service is understandable. Just have respect. Again, just have respect for people who litter pick, because again these people do great work, because you seen that street there, and the difference they made to that drug den for picking up the needles. They made it a safer place, because you never know when a child could have wandered in there and stuck a needle in his arm. You never know. You just never know. Children are curious, children wander off, children like to explore. So yeah, just say to people, you know, please do have respect. And again, this, you know, again, sense of humour, the Celts really goes to show, because they are, you know, people in the Celts do have a good sense of humour. They might not care much for Wolf, but they have a good sense of humour. But yeah, that's just my reaction. I thought I'd just react because it was so true. That first minute, you know, I was like, you know, I can relate to this straight away. So yeah, thank you for watching. Take care, everybody, and sorry for the long video, and bye.